Yes, and welcome to Facilities Garden, folks. Day after we planted our persimmon tree, we're back here again to finish off. As I mentioned yesterday, this is the tree we planted here. We replaced the rose, and I haven't done anything with the rose. It's still quite, well, it's winter, it's dormant, so it'll be quite safe. Now, the way we like to stake our trees up is in a triangular formation. I've done this a couple of times, and I'll show you again. And it's basically putting 3 garden stakes. This is, in the case, this is what I'm using, tomato stakes. That's how I know them. In a perfect triangular form. So one just here, as you saw already, and one over here. Now, a couple of things we're going to do today to finish this off, which we obviously didn't do yesterday, and that is put extra mulch down, because I need to get an extra good covering of mulch on top. And this time I brought my watering, what do you call those? Can. Watering can, there you go. I was going to call it a watering wand or rose, but it's a can with the rose on the end. So we're going to give it some Eco Butch and Liquid Gold. But before we do that, more importantly, let's talk about the shape of the tree. Now, we're looking at a persimmon tree. This generally produces fruit on its current season growth, so any new growth that's coming on is where you'll get your fruit from, plus on last year's growth. So this is, as what you'll see here, are last year's shoots. And this is where the fruit will come from if it decides to flower and fruit. And they take a good 5 years to start fruiting these plants. They're not the fastest of growers, and ideally with persimmon trees, you don't want them to grow too tall either. Now, the shape that we've got here at the moment is basically, as I would know it, or it's called, is a central leader. Quite obvious, because you've got one trunk running straight up there. Now, I'm just under 6 foot. I'd like to think I'm 6'2", but only when I'm wearing my high heels. At the moment, I'm 5'7", or something like that. So this is pushing at least 6'1", 6'2" up there. Okay, now that's a central leader. If we do nothing with that, it will keep growing. Now, with the central leader, the aim is to get lateral branches, or as known, better known as scaffold. So that's the frame that goes out. So your typical scaffold around the house when they're doing building sites, they put something out horizontally like that. That's what you want in a persimmon tree to do. So and you want to establish at least 5 or 6 scaffolds or lateral branches, strong ones, evenly spaced. Now, when I say evenly spaced, have a look at these here. So we've got a lot of scaffold branches or laterals coming out here, which are very close to each other. We don't want them that close. So we're going to remove some of these. Not now, it's way too early. We are going to keep these 3, and then we're going to work with this one and probably these couple here. But what we are going to do today is bring the height down, because if we don't, it'll keep growing. This is called central leader. You can have a modified central leader as well, or modified leader, which means you basically take it down, as I'm going to do today, and then from there, wherever you prune, you'll find it'll come out with 2 shoots. Now, out of those 2 shoots, you'll only keep 1. You don't want a double shoot going up again. You'll only keep the stronger one of the 2, but that, by doing that, that will encourage more lateral growth here. So you'll start to get this to fill out more. And that will become a modified central leader. So that means by pruning the center out, getting more lateral branches or scaffolds, and then picking your 5, 6, 7 maximum strong ones that you want to keep. You could also do a open vase, which is an open shaped tree, open vase shape. And that way, what we do with that, rather than cutting it at the top up here at 5 or 6 foot, we actually cut it down here. Probably in this case, realistically, if I was going to hit this hard, you probably get a shock, probably around here, folks, there, or even down to here. Now that's too close, I reckon. Around here probably is where we'll get a couple of buds coming out. So if I was to cut it and do an open vase shape, I would work around there and probably even risk it and go down here. So you've got a couple of choices. Why I say up here is that we'll try to get another branch to fill out on this side, but we have got that one there as well. But we can also train these 3 to go out there like that. And you can see in the past year, we've nipped these back already once. Okay, so they've been cut back once, and you see what's happened? They forked out. So for every prune you do, you get in return 2 new shoots. And that's how you'll get your fruit on these tips here. If you leave these to grow like that, they'll continue to grow out. you'll get some fruit off them, but if you nip them back and get them to multiply, you'll get multiple branches, nice ones, evenly spaced, and then you get lots of more fruit. I said they're like a Greek. Anyway, all right. So before we tie it up, I'm going to go like this, and I want you all, as you're watching, to say no, 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 or yes when you want me to cut it, all right? I'm going to channel you all in my head and in the secateurs. I can hear no, 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 no. I hear yes. Did I get that right? Or we can go down here as well, folks. So you've got a couple of options there. So we're going to work with that there. So what we wanted to do is push out more energy in these lower branches here, or the upper branches. Now, ideally, the shape is going to be almost a, is it a cone shape? Is it a dome shape? What do you want to call that? Almost like a pyramid shape, not the perfect shape as a pyramid, but you want it to narrow in as it gets taller. Now, we have got that, and don't get fooled. It's not a double. It's a scaffold or a lateral growing out there. That is last year's growth there, all that there. That's where it was nipped off last time, the year before, or even last year, and then by springtime we had this growth come out to that point there. We don't need to cut that anymore. That's as much as I'm going to cut on this tree because we already tackled this once last year. What we wanted to do now is establish its roots, settle down, and thicken up in the trunk. And the only way that's going to happen is by stabilizing the tree. And to stabilize this tree here, we're using 3 points of tying, and that's in a triangular formation, as we said before. So we're going to pull it in one direction here, in another direction there, and in another one there. Now you can see there's a natural lean in that direction. So we're going to pull it over here at the top. And if you come from this angle here, you can see it better that this needs to be pulled up to there and held in that vertical position, and then we need to just gently pull it back somewhere around here in that direction, and that way we're stabilizing the tree. All right, so let's put these garden stakes in. So we've got 3 ties, one for each one. Just going to sit it here for now, like this. Anyway, that's going to go on that side. So we do a figure 8 on these and try and work just above a branch like that there. You can, if you like, so it's not rubbing like this, and it shouldn't rub like this because we're going to do it tight enough so it's nice and steady. But just to avoid that rubbing, you can allow it to go around once like that, and that will stabilize it. You can see we're going to have a bit of a challenge here, and more importantly, just look at the garden stake here, folks, and go around a couple of times as I've just done it here, and again, and tie it back there. That way it doesn't slip down. So you've got to do a bit of a loop around. Now I'm just pulling it. I haven't tensioned it yet, but I'm trying to see if that's level there. It looks pretty level. You want to get this level from the beginning. You don't want it sitting like that and thinking, yeah, that'll be right, and we can straighten it up. Because as it thickens up, it's going to hold that shape forever. So that's okay there. We may need to do a couple of goes at this to get the right level at the end. Yeah, that's just gone below there. Let's see what happens if we leave it below there. That shouldn't fall because I've looped it around once. And see how we've got a few buds here, nodes popping out. There's one just on the other side there. So if I was to drag it down to that node, see right there, that node's going to stop it from sliding down any further. And again, wrap around. Yeah, this stake is a little bit loose, is it? Well, the ground's just super wet. But I can't imagine this blowing around too much. If it does at all, then again, haven't I just complained nothing about the weather here, folks? All it does is blows. And we're going to pull it at the bottom. So at the bottom we've got a bit of a curve going on. This is trying to be a perfectionist here, you know, that's anything but what I am at the moment. So we're going to pull it across there. So we're going to try and get that straight, and that way we've got an almost vertical line there. So down below, because if we just pull it on that side, it's not enough. This may need 2 points of tying So one down low here, like that. And then we'll just check the top section, because see, it can wobble. It's not that bad, but if we did tie it up, that's going to stop the wobble completely. All right, so we're doing one higher here. Now, the backseat drivers in my family have told me that I've stuck these in where I dug a hole, so that means they've gone down too deep, which is true. I should have stuck these garden stakes outside the hole, which I would have gained a bit more height, because I need a bit more height here, because this garden tree, well, it's a garden tree, isn't it? Thank God it's not a, well, what else could it be? A house tree? It could be. This tree is taller than the stakes, and we need to get this lined up here. See that there? See that curve there? Not good, not happy. That one there, and then we're going to just tighten this up a little bit more like that. So we'll tighten this up. We'll grab another garden stake and see if my backseat drive is correct and I'm wrong, which is pretty much always the case, isn't it? I'm just going to stick this in where I haven't dug before, and I guarantee you it's going to go as deep as the other ones, almost. Yeah, it's not bad. What can I say? I'm right, he's wrong. That is soft ground there. I only did that just for shits and giggles, folks. Just to annoy him. But what we got to do, we'll leave it in here for now like that. It's a young tree. It's not that very sturdy, meaning it's not very stiff. And really, at the end of the day, you can be pedantic and do that. See that? Just that little bit there. Just that little bit there. I'm going to be walking past it every day. It's going to annoy me. So I'm going to do it. Like that. Put it there. Have I got it right? We've got to retension everything again. All right. All right, this one here is not actually pulling the tree anymore, because we don't want to pull it any further. We just want to stabilise it so that the wind doesn't come along and pushes it the other way. Okay, so we're stabilising it in the opposite direction. And that's it there. It's a bit messy, but seriously, folks, at the end of the day, if you really are looking to grow a nice upright tree with a, you know, a semi-central leader or a modified central leader, you need to stake them up. You need to stake them up neatly, controlled like this, and that way you get a nice trunk on it, because once it does establish, it's like your typical espalier work. A little bit of care taken in the early days, you get a nice structural tree which is going to be strong, sturdy, and then able to produce lots of fruit for years to come. Last thing we've got to do, extra mulch and give it a good feed. Just a light hydration of the mulch to activate the composting process, folks. That's all we need to do here. And when it rains, it'll just soak its way through down the base. Now, some people like to step on the root zone when they backfill it. I used to do it in the early days, but I don't like doing that anymore. I find, especially with bare-rooted trees that is, you can cause a bit of damage on them. You're flattening out the roots as you're pressing down. You can flood the hole with water and just hydrate it really well, then backfill and it becomes a bit of slurry, and over time that'll dry out pretty quickly, as long as it doesn't rain every day. Or you just do what I do. Give it a hydrate like this, come back the next day, give it another one, or you can come in with a hose, don't put any liquid feed, and just hydrate it really well. So, planting fruit trees, it's a season to be planting, folks. Here's one. I've got a few more to go. I've got a couple of hundred on the property at the moment that need a bit of attention. And if you're interested in learning a bit more about this, check out our workshops that we're holding here, fruit tree workshops, myself, and with Craig Castry on our website. They're selling pretty quick, they're booking out, the spots are booking out really quick, so take advantage before we do sell out. And come down and have a great day with us, or hands-on experience just like this. Otherwise, check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. Our end of financial year sale is still on. Use the coupon code EOFY to get yourself a big discount and enjoy some great products every day. From me, Vasili, Maresi.